Fiona Hall, Liberal Democrat MEP for the North East. How are local firms currently losing out when it comes to the way contracts are doled out?
Well, I've been really concerned about the situation for small and medium-sized construction firms in the northeast of England because they are faced with an impossible situation at the moment. Government is issuing framework contracts for new buildings so that all new schools, for instance, came in under one framework contract. That makes it absolutely impossible for anything but the big national builders to tender for those contracts, and it means an awful lot of work is going missing out of the local economy, and that's a big concern to everybody.
So MEPs have voted today to kind of clarify a lot of these rules. What kind of difference will that make in problems like the one you've just identified?
Well, one thing which is really important is that there will be a presumption that big contracts should be broken up into lots. It's not an absolute insistence. I would have liked to have seen it a little bit stronger, but there will be a requirement that member states explain why they're not breaking a contract up if they're not actually doing so. And that's a big step forward. It's very much an encouragement not to do mega contracts, but to do them at a level where you can get a wider range of companies applying.
And it sounds obvious, but what would be the benefits locally then if that is going to become the norm, that contracts are going to be broken up so that on a regional basis you might see local firms being able to apply for more of these contracts?
Well, small businesses are the backbone of the economy, and the money that they put into the economy for the services that they actually buy as well, it all helps to stimulate jobs locally in the region, and I think that's the most important thing. It also, I think, saves a lot of waste often, that materials and labour is being taken on locally, and it means that extremely sound middling-sized companies who have an awful lot to offer, a lot of experience of working in the region, can do some of the public contracts that they've been excluded from recently, and that can really help to keep the economy ticking over.
I mean, according to the EU figures, public procurement, as it's called, makes up about 19% of Europe's economy. So these are significant sums of money that are being doled out to private firms. So would you expect to see a kind of direct result from what's been agreed here for the regional economy in places like the North East?
Well, yes, I mean, it won't happen from one day to the next, but yes, over time, I think it will have a positive effect, because you're quite right, this is a significant part of the economy, and to have all that section of GDP, sort of all of that potential being barred in terms of what's available for companies to do regionally, that's a really unhelpful situation. And I hope that what we will see now, in a number of ways, because there are a number of other ways as well where small businesses are being encouraged, things like online tendering, which is a massive help for small firms. The door is open for small and medium-sized companies to really get involved in the public procurement process, and it's something that we as Liberal Democrats have fought for really hard throughout this process.
And I understand that these new rules will really clarify that local issues or environmental issues can be taken into account when contracts are decided. So is that the kind of balance that has to be met between allowing local firms to be able to bid on the one hand, but also ensuring value for money for the public sector?
Yes, one of the most important things is the introduction of the idea of quality as being important. So you can define that you want to have something which has longer life cycle, cheaper costs, rather than being cheaper at the point of buying it. And it means that overall you can get a better quality product, and you can be clear that you want something that is going to deliver for the longer term. And that's important too, because paying less money today isn't necessarily the cheapest thing in the longer term.